The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. And, of course, don't forget to check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. It never stops. Flowstradamus continues to give. Last night, another win in college football. That's a 6-0 start to the season in the Green on Green picks. Heard every afternoon on the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene on ESPN Asheville. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. 31-0. UAB over Jacksonville State. We got a full slate of games for him to pick this afternoon, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that. He's got some sweet little nuggets. It's going to put some cash in your pocket. Speaking of cash, we appreciate everybody who has gotten into the competition for a cause so far, our best ball leagues that will generate proceeds for Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Last year in Buncombe County, 3,000 kids had a better Christmas because of the St. Nicholas Project, and we are happy to help out this year. Competition for a cause has been going gangbusters in the last couple of days.
We have raised right at $1,000 and the season hasn't even started yet. We'll be doing these through DraftKings and FanDuel all year long as well. But if you want to be in the best ball leagues for the prizes and all those things, you'll have to get in within the next 10 days.
That's right.
So big shout out to Michael Whiteside, Patrick Holt, all the people that have contributed to this. This means a lot to us. This is a project that we're very passionate about. I have always said I am a slut for charity, and I'm really a slut for charity when it has to do with kids at Christmas. So,
link to the descriptions of the best ball leagues are here in the description of this video. Eblin Charities, Ingles Supermarkets, EXP Realty, Wicked Weed Brewing, all helping us out with the competitions for a cause, and we appreciate their partnership with Eblin Charities as well. Get in on the $20, $50, $100 levels. You don't have to do all of them. If you do, fantastic.
Yeah, we're working on a special package for Michael Whiteside. Just so you know, we're not actually here. This was pre-recorded, so if you wonder why we're not commenting on the comments, that's why.
That's why. Again, big things are doing here in the Sportsocracy, and you're going to find out about it very, very soon. We are rolling on with the NFL Top 100 Sportsocracy style, of course, because, you know, the players list just didn't do it.
It sucked a lot. Yeah. It sucked as bad as Jacksonville State did last night.
Oh, that's pretty bad suckage. Number 20. We are now to the last 20. And number 20 on the list from the New Orleans Saints, the running back Alvin Kamara. More than 80 catches every year. Every year. 932 rushing yards last year. That was his career high in rushing yards. But, you know, some people will look, oh, he's never rushed for 1,000 yards. Yeah, but look at all the other things he does.
He's also never rushed 200 times in a season. So, I mean, what do you expect from him? Average 6 yards a fucking carry?
Right.
Oh, wait, he already did that once. Alvin Kamara is just otherworldly.
He is. 21 total touchdowns last year. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. No doubt the future of the New Orleans Saints.
Fun stat about Alvin Kamara. How many games has he played in his NFL career?
52.
60. How many touchdowns does he have?
45.
59.
It's pretty damn good.
That's a hell of a little ratio.
That's a pretty damn good clip right there. Do you think Jameis Winston hurts him this year?
No. A lot of people have. They pushed him down. I do not in any way get it. I know people are worried about Latavius Murray because he gets so many totes in between the tackles. I just don't care. I think Jameis actually helps him in the passing game.
Jameis is not much of a check down guy, though.
It doesn't matter. He will be in the Sean Payton system because he doesn't have any receivers.
This is very true. He's
it's Marquez Callaway and me.
Right.
Alvin Kamara is going to get a whole mess of gravy on his taters, I promise you.
Yes, he will. At number 19, one of the fastest men in the NFL, Tyreek Hill.
A lot of people will probably think I have him too low.
Why do you have him that low?
Because he's pretty much a one-trick pony.
Just really damn fast.
He's just super fucking fast. He's not a great route runner. I mean, obviously, I like him a lot because he's at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Home run, best deep threat in my lifetime. He's the best deep threat in the NFL in the last 30 years because you can't cover him. Oh, we put a safety over the top. Doesn't matter. He'll run by him too.
Yep.
He sits down in zones well. It's just, there's nothing. It doesn't look really pretty. You watch him on film, and there's nothing visually attractive about how he runs routes and some of the routes he runs in the route tree. Mm-hmm. And really, that speaks to the genius that is Andy Reid. They've damn near created a route tree for Tyreek Hill because he doesn't run stereotypical routes very well. Mm-hmm. So, okay, Tyreek, we're going to run option routes with you where if the safety goes over the top, you just nest underneath them. If you get by them, just go. Right. And somehow him and Mahomes are on the same page enough to not ever fuck that up, which you watch it on film, and that is profound.
Yeah.
That's why Pat Mahomes is not going to be heard until a little bit later in this list.
Right, for quite a while. His average top speed is 20.76 miles per hour. He's the second fastest guy in the league. Do you know who's number one?
No.
It's his teammate, Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman is a 21.52 average top speed.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman's a guy that can only run one route. Fucking go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just 9. Just hit it.
Yeah, his route tree, there's 2 of them, 0 and 9. No others.
In a 17-game season, do you think Tyreek Hill could see 145 targets this year?
I think that's probably a little lofty. He's never gone over 137, and that was in the only 100% full season he's ever played.
Right. But now with Sammy Watkins not there?
I don't care. I like Byron Pringle.
Okay.
I like Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson. There's enough weapons there that will keep him from being a target monster. Mm-hmm. The only thing that's the saving grace is that he's 15 yards per reception. So as long as you can do that, you don't have to see 150 targets. Yeah. You can live at 130 and be just fine.
Tyreek got it into the end zone 15 times in 2020, and just want to got you back. What? Number 18.
Enjoy your little victory lap.
I am thoroughly.
It's okay. 7 days from today. Hold on.
Oh, stop it.
7 days from today is a great day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be 0-1.
I almost put 0 chance of that happening, but anyhow, we'll be opening
Did you
up.
say 0 chance?
I said, yeah.
That's not even kind of true. God,
Really?
I hope they beat
Really?
you so much.
Tom Brady on opening night unfurling the banner in his home stadium that he just won the Super Bowl in. Yeah.
Anytime you say 0 chance, I break out my wallet and go, where can I bet this? Aggressively.
Number 18 on the list, Derrick Henry, the Terminator running back for the Tennessee Titans. Good Lord. I mean, what is there not to like about Derrick Henry?
I can name a couple things.
Oh, come on. He has breakaway speed. He is an absolute physical freak. He runs over dudes constantly. How can you not like it? I mean, they stack the box against him, and it doesn't matter. He still averages 5 yards carry.
You know what I don't like? That he's had 60 more attempts than any other running back in the league 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do you see guys hold up when they go 378 attempts. I'll be honest with you, if there's a guy in the top 20 that I feel really sure is going to be markedly lower next year, it's Derrick Henry.
I can see that happening. But right now,
I don't think it's going to age well.
He's coming off a 2,000-yard season. He's won back-to-back rushing titles. Yeah, and I think he's a great candidate to go 3 in a row. By the way, there are only 3 running backs in history that have ever won 3 straight rushing titles. Can you name them?
3 straight. Barry Sanders.
Nope.
Walter Payton.
Nope.
Tony Dorsett.
Nope.
Okay, over 3.
Emmitt Smith, Earl Campbell, and Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, I should have known.
Jim Brown did it twice. In fact, he's got the record. He hit it 5 straight times between 1957 and 1961. Obviously, he was a back before his time with the Cleveland Browns. Derrick Henry, I see him pretty much, this last 2 years, he's been that dominant. He's been one of the most dominant runners in the NFL. Hopefully it'll carry on for another couple of years, for his sake anyway. But Father Time and the touches are catching up to him. At number 17.
Before we move on from Derrick Henry, I just need you to understand. Can you name me the last running back that had within 40 carries of as many as Derrick Henry had last year?
In a single season?
Mm-hmm. In 10 years.
Oh, I don't know.
It's happened 2 times.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson had 348 in 2012. Maurice Jones-Drew had 343 in 2011. You know what both those guys had in common? They got hurt the next year.
Yep.
Both of them. That's with 35 less carries, and they were both smaller than Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, we'll do. Number 17, Fred Warner from the San Francisco 49ers. He's a 120 tackle a year guy. 6 pass deflections, forces fumbles.
Pass defensed.
Yeah.
PD is pass defensed.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it was deflected.
Whatever. Semantics. He forces fumbles, interceptions, sacks. He can do everything on the football field.
One of my favorite stats is approximate value, and it's a number that Pro Football Reference puts on guys. Mm-hmm. He was an 18 last year. There are only like 4 guys in the league that were that high.
Right.
The stats don't jump off the page. He's one of those guys that you watch on film and just go, good God, he is around the ball no matter what. Run, pass, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. To me, the best all-around linebacker in the NFL. Doesn't get a lot of sacks, and that's why a lot of people don't jump up and down for him. But he's your favorite player's favorite NFL player. Mm-hmm. Still that line from I Heart Tits.
There's a reason the San Francisco 49ers are paying him $95 million. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't blink at that deal.
Nope. Which is weird because you criticize every deal that's ever signed to the NFL.
That's not true. I do when they play meaningless positions.
Right. At number 16, DeAndre Hopkins from the Arizona Cardinals. He got traded 2 years ago, by the way.
Son of a bitch.
DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals.
The damn software should have kicked that back that the Houston Texans would have a player on this list.
He's a 3-time All-Pro, 3 straight 100 reception years. He had 96 in 2017, so just missed out on having 4 straight 100-plus catch seasons. To me, the perfect personification of him is the Hail Murray last year.
He's been over 1,150 yards 6 times. Mm-hmm. That is dumb. Dumb to dumb to dumb, dumb, dumb. And the old saying, your greatest ability is your availability. He's missed 2 games in his entire career, and one of them he was healthy as hell.
Yep.
They were going into the playoffs and just didn't play him. DeAndre Hopkins is my favorite receiver in the NFL.
He is mine as well. He is, every year it seems like we change who the top wide receiver is in the NFL.
Oh, he's not the highest ranked one on this list. He's my favorite one. I would rather have DeAndre Hopkins on my team than any receiver in the NFL. Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm saying. I have not come off of DeAndre Hopkins in the last probably 4 years as my number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. I think he's the best of all of them.
Well, Davante Adams is better than him. But I think he's more scheme specific. Davante Adams has the best feet in the NFL. Yeah. And we'll talk about him in a little bit.
Yep.
But to me, he's ahead of Hopkins. Hopkins is just a guy that can do everything. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best high point the ball guys in the end zone in the NFL. If I could only have one receiver, it would be DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. I was just getting to the, I feel like when we do these lists every year, it's all very heavily dependent on what we just saw. And to me, DeAndre Hopkins is still the best wide receiver in the league. Davante Adams is great. Don't get me wrong. Michael Thomas was number 1 on the list last year after he broke the catch record. Yeah, to me, it's DeAndre Hopkins, no matter what, as the best wide receiver in the NFL. And again, that Hail Murray last year, where he caught it over 3 Buffalo Bills at the end of the game to win it, was just proof positive that he's one of the best. You realize he accounted for 34% of the Arizona Cardinals' receiving yards last year?
He's in 6 of the 8 years he's been in the league, he's been over 25%, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. At number 15, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion from the Seattle Seahawks, well known to have been passed up by every team in the league.
At least twice.
At least twice. When he was taken in the 3rd round, coming out of Wisconsin. Last year, he put up great stats. 4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, maybe a little too much, but still completed damn near 70% of his passes. The problem with last year was that what happened at the end of the year. When they got into the year, the beginning of the year, they were letting Russ cook, and then they got conservative. He didn't have a 300-yard passing game after week 8 last year. And that's a little concerning. But now things have changed. I think he's going to put up huge numbers this year.
Russell Wilson started literally every game of his NFL career. 9 years. He's never been worse than 9-7, which is a testament to just exactly how good he is, because most of the teams he's played on have not been that talented around him. And they've never been deep. Here's a fun stat for you. Through 8 NFL seasons, Russell Wilson's been sacked 347 times. There's only been 2 since the merger that were sacked more times. Can you name either one of them?
No.
Cam Newton, Ryan Tannehill, Ben Roethlisberger are probably the only ones that anybody watching this show would really remember.
Right.
And they're all behind Russell Wilson. Now you'd remember 2. Neil Lomax was 1. Randall Cunningham is 2. Randall Cunningham was back in the age of quarterbacks didn't run, and he ran a lot.
Right.
And a lot of his sacks happened 1 or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's just unfathomable to me how good Russell Wilson's been. Never having a great offensive line. The defense was elite for the first half of his career. It hasn't been since.
And his vision is amazing. His ability to find the open receiver, and if he can't, get yards with his legs as well. Because, I mean, he's a guy that can run for 500 yards in a season. He went over 500 this past season. He can do everything. He's one of the greats. No doubt about it. I still think it's hilarious that, everybody wants to focus on he's never gotten a vote for MVP. Well, he's never been the guy.
He's never been statistically impressive enough to win an MVP, which is why I put no stock in the MVP awards.
Yeah.
I just don't care. If you tell me that Derrick Henry was more important or was more valuable to his team last year than Russell Wilson, cool. Let's see the Titans without Derrick Henry and the Seahawks without Russell Wilson.
Right.
The Titans would probably go 7-9.
Maybe.
The Seahawks would have been 2-14. So.
Right. And with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in town, they're going to have the ability to let him cook this year, and I'm frankly here all for it. Myles Garrett comes in at number 14, huge physical freak, not a bad basketball player either. Double-digit sacks the last 3 years, 6 games in he missed 6 games in 2019, missed 2 games in 2020. Obviously, the 6 games in 2019 were because of the suspension after the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, because he went full-on Fred McGriff at Mason Rudolph's head.
But he makes everybody else on his defense better.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the elite pass rushers in the NFL. A lot of people will be shocked that I have the guy in front of him, but I do. And it's solely because of versatility. Myles Garrett is a phenomenal, unbelievable pass rusher. However, Chris Jones can play every spot on the defensive line. I'm going to call this the Elgton Jenkins rule from now on. If you can play every spot on the line, I'm going to prop you up in front of people that I probably shouldn't. Because I'm so big on versatility. And Myles Garrett gets dinged for being close to Baker Mayfield. If you've been close to Baker Mayfield for any period of time, I can't think you're that great.
I don't know. I mean, he made Olivier Vernon a sack threat.
Olivier Vernon had been a sack threat more than once in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. But now he
about
has
1,700 different teams.
But now he has Jadeveon Clowney on the other side of him.
And he still won't be a sack threat.
Jadeveon won't? Oh, I think you're wrong about that one.
I'll take the under on 8.5 all day.
Under on 8.5? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's talk about Chris Jones. 32 sacks in the last 3 years. The last time he predominantly lined up at defensive end like he's probably going to do for the Kansas City Chiefs this year, he had 15.5 sacks. That was in 2018.
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
And I think at that time he's only gotten better.
I would agree. He's so scheme versatile that's how Spagnuolo is going to use him. Is you're never going to know exactly where he's coming from. Having Frank Clark on the other side helps if he, stays out of jail. Gun charge. Mm-hmm. But to me, I don't really care. I don't care who's on the other side. You can slide him on the inside. He's going to wear guards and centers out. You can put him on the outside, and he's going to kill tackles. Scheme versatility is the name of the game to me, and Chris Jones is the most versatile defensive lineman in the NFL.
Yeah, super disruptive, and he also can squeeze that ball out. 9 forced fumbles in the last 4 years. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. And that's why he's making $85 million, or just got an $85 million contract extension from the Chiefs. At number 12, getting into the dirty dozen here, Quentin Nelson. Best guard in the league, Indianapolis Colts.
I would argue he's the best offensive lineman in the league. He's the best offensive lineman in the league. You got to look at Indianapolis going into this year. You have really no left tackle because Anthony Costanzo is not ready to play yet. Sam Tevi's out for the year. And yet, if Quentin Nelson is ready week 1, I have no reservations about Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. That's how fucking good he is. Gets the best pulling guard I think I've ever seen. One of the highest level offensive line prospects I've ever seen. I'm not going to break down lineman tape for you, but Quentin Nelson's everything you could ever want and more.
He's been in the league 3 years. Do you know how many sacks he's allowed in the stat books?
2?
It's 3. He had 2.
It was 2 for a long time.
He had 2 this past year. Had 1 this past year, none the year before that, and then his rookie year he allowed 2. So it's 3 in 3 years. Are you still sore?
And I do find it funny that he showed up, and that's when Andrew Luck went away. Because Andrew Luck couldn't have nice things.
Right.
Am I sore at what?
Are you still sore that your Jets could have had him?
No. We needed a quarterback, not a guard. The revisionist history on NFL trades like that makes me laugh. If we had taken a guard, I would have set the fucking stadium on fire.
Because he was the pick that he was the pick the year that y'all picked Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
when you traded up.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. Quentin Nelson's fantastic. He's still a guard. Just always remember that. He's still a guard. That's why he's at 12, not at 5, which I would say is probably where his talent merits it. And that's the same thing I could say about number 11.
Number 11, Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers. Mr. Record Breaker himself. 2019 was a year unlike many others in the NFL when Christian McCaffrey became the 3rd guy in history to rush for over 1,000 yards and to receive for over 1,000 yards. Back-to-back years, he set the record for receptions at the running back position. That currently stands at 116 on a year for a running back.
The greatest stat I've ever heard in my life. In 2019, in terms of fantasy football, Christian McCaffrey was the number 1 running back, strictly rushing. He would have been the number 3 wide receiver. Behind Michael Thomas, who set all kinds of records, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
That's it. He's a freak of nature. He's also a running back. That's why he's at 11, not at, again, 5, like he probably should be.
Right. Last year, he played 3 games. He scored 6 touchdowns in 3 games.
Which is just insane.
He is an unbelievable athlete, and I just hope that he doesn't. The injury from last year it doesn't compound. And we start this cycle of him being injured, especially after all the money the Carolina Panthers gave him.
Christian McCaffrey started 45 games. How many touchdowns does he have?
52.
45.
45. So touchdown a game.
Played 51 games, started 45. He has 45 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, lather, rinse, repeat. When you get in the end zone that often, what more could you ask for?
Yep. He's also the only running back in NFL history to have at least 10 games where he caught 10 passes in the same game. Absolute freak. Love him to death. He's number 11. Number 10, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack.
It's not very often that you have a player in the NFL that gets traded from his team and his former team goes, crap, can we have him back? But that's exactly what we had happen apparently this offseason with the Las Vegas Raiders and Khalil Mack. He has been a superstar since basically the day he stepped into the league.
He has. He's just an elite pass rusher. The production's kind of dipped off with Chicago, and I'm not sure that I understand why. He's still unbelievably impactful on games. I'm starting to wonder if the losing is taking an effect on him because on tape, he didn't. I mean, he's only 29, so it's not an age regression thing. But he was not as. There were long stretches last year where he was not as impactful. Khalil Mack was at 3 when I did this last year. So he has fallen. That's a pretty drastic drop. And I'm just hoping that with Justin Fields and getting Matt Nagy the hell out of Chicago, that it'll light a fire under Khalil Mack and I can get him back where I would like him, which is in the top 5 next year.
He has missed 2 games in his entire career.
Greatest ability is your availability.
Exactly. I love guys that can show up and be there. 23 forced fumbles. Is that correct? 23 of them. And, of course, he's had splash plays in most of his games that he has played in the NFL. Khalil Mack, number 10 on the Sportsocracy NFL Top 100 list. Number 9, we got the Los Angeles Rams, Jalen Ramsey.
The stats don't jump off the page with Jalen Ramsey, but there's been the vast majority of his career, people just thrown away from him. And he's gotten beaten a few times. I don't care. He's still the best cornerback in the NFL, and it's not even fucking debatable to me. There's nobody even in the discussion of being better than him, in my opinion. I said this on the ESPN show yesterday. The days of the shutdown corner are pretty much over. You're not going to see many guys like this. Derek Stingley Jr. is the only one I see in the offing, just because it's a different league. If you're an elite player like that, why in the hell would you want to play corner? So I don't think you're going to see many guys like Jalen Ramsey moving forward, and that's why he's in the top 10 in spite of the fact that statistically he's not overly impressive. But you watch the tape, and he very much is. Yeah,
your quarterback always thinks twice as to what side Jalen Ramsey is on because he is one of the least targeted cornerbacks in the league, year in and year out. If he's not number 1, he's in the top 3 somewhere. At number 8,
this is a guy I'm going to catch a lot of shit about.
Nick Bosa. He's had 1 full season in the NFL, got a devastating injury last year, tearing the ACL up in New York with the San Francisco 49ers. 9 sacks his rookie year, and then he only played 2 games last year.
He's an elite, impactful player. He's one of the highest graded prospects I've ever graded coming into the draft. Nick Bosa is one of those guys that the injury doesn't bother me that much. I mean, yeah, he got hurt, but hell, everybody from San Francisco got hurt last year.
Right.
I think he is about to have one of those years that you look at and go, sweet baby Lord. I honestly could see Nick Bosa having 20 sacks this year. I've looked at the schedule, I've looked at the matchups, and that's in the best division in football. Going up against Dwayne Brown and guys like from Seattle and shit like that. I still look at Nick Bosa and go, if you told me he led the league in sacks this year, I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
He's hit the quarterback 26 times in 18 games. That's pretty damn good.
He's just, other than one guy that we'll get to in a minute, he's the most impactful edge in the NFL.
Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. The Green Bay Packers, 3-time MVP, your reigning MVP of the NFL. The FU Tour, print went pretty damn well.
Yeah, and it's going to happen again this year. You're going to see another great big Aaron Rodgers fuck you tour. And, I mean, what can you say? He's had one elite receiver in his life. Two that were pretty good. One that's now back there in Randall Cobb. He's never had a Randy Moss like Tom Brady did. He's never had a Tyreek Hill like Pat Mahomes has. He's had one, Davante Adams. That's it. Never had an elite deep threat, and yet he's going to go down in history as one of the 6 greatest quarterbacks to ever live.
48 touchdowns last year, 5 interceptions. I think that's the thing that I love most about Aaron Rodgers.
He never turns the damn ball over?
He never turns the ball over. I think it's either 6 or 7 times in his career he has led the NFL in touchdown or interception ratio. Unbelievable. Takes care of the ball. Super smart. He might be a jackass off the field, but all the things that he can bring to your team, it's clear.
His interception ratio has broken 2% 3 times in 17 years. Not including the rookie year where he threw 1 on 16 passes.
Right.
That means he's only 3 out of 14 seasons as a starter thrown an interception every 50 passes. That's mind-boggling.
It is indeed. You know what else is mind-boggling?
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
Number 6 on the list, Tom Brady. 7-time Super Bowl champion now and still rocking it at 44 years old.
He's the guy. It's not a talent. It's not even a talent thing. He's not the 6th most talented player in the league.
Nope.
Not even close.
Nope.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't think he's in the top 100 at this point. But it's who he is. He makes everybody around him better. He makes great decisions. He's the most clutch quarterback in NFL history. But this is the year that it stops. I'm just telling you, I don't care how many quinoa milkshakes or fucking avocado ice creams you eat. At 44 years old, you are this close to it all coming tumbling after. And I'm not trying to forecast a guy getting hurt because that's not what I think happens. I think this is going to be Kansas City Joe Montana. Going to be good. You'll make the playoffs. And by the end of the year, he's going to look like a spent fighter.
Arm's going to fall off. Okay.
I watched it happen with Brett Favre.
Yep.
I watched it happen with Joe Montana. I watched it happen with a litany of guys. And, yeah, Brady's in better shape, but I get that. You've gone 5 years past damn near anybody else. Because you're 3 years older than Drew Brees is right now, and you look 10 years younger last year. Well, at this point, quarterbacks at this age start to age like milk because the expiration date is 40. You ever drink milk about 4 days after expiration?
Yeah.
Not good. And it's way worse than it was 3 days ago. That's how it works with quarterbacks. When it declines, it's going to decline aggressively.
Right. Last year, he hit 40 touchdowns in the NFL, 65.7% completion, and he swears to God that he didn't tap into everything he had last year.
I'm sure he didn't.
He's just the magic man.
He strikes me as the guy that's literally going to be carried off the field. You keep talking about playing to 50, you're not playing to fucking 50. You're going to I'm just telling you, you cannot keep tempting fate on this. And at some point, he's one of those that I think is going to have to see it fall off before he realizes it's falling off.
Yeah.
He's so damn competitive that he's never just going to voluntarily give it in. And I'm afraid that you mix that mentality with Bruce Arians and you have a recipe for disaster.
But let me ask you, if you put yourself in his shoes.
I would have been gone 3 years ago.
Really?
Hell yeah. I got 5 rings. Fuck off. No, I'm not the beat every bone in my body out. Enjoy your life.
All right. I mean, as long as he still feels good and he still feels like he can get out there and
I got news for you. He don't feel good. You can blow every ounce of smoke up my ass that you want to. I have talked to guys that played in the NFL that made it 10 years less than Tom Brady. Got hit a third as many times. They still hurt to this day. I don't give a fuck. And this is the thing that drives me crazy about people with these Tom Brady sycophants. Oh, Tom's in such great shape. And you're saying these other guys aren't? They're out there like me? No. Okay, you're Lance Armstrong. Well, everybody else is pretty fucking good, too. Just because you keep beating them does not mean you're head and shoulders more athletic or dedicated or any of that other shit. You've been incredibly lucky for one. You've only had one major injury in your career. In 22 years, that's kind of impressive. And it's not by accident, but I'm just telling you, you keep tempting fate, and you're going to see why nobody else does this. Kind of like Cam Newton. I'm just going to keep saying it until I'm right. And guess what?
Eventually. Eventually, you're always right. It's like predicting death. Eventually
you will die. Period.
Eventually we're all going to die. All right, we're now getting into the top 5. Number 5, Davante Adams. Green Bay Packers scored 18 touchdowns last year. He is the new number 1 wide receiver.
He's the best route runner in the NFL. Every team that he comes up against knows it's coming to him, and it still doesn't matter. It just flat out doesn't matter. He's that good. He's one of the best route runners I've ever seen. Great feet, can really non-eye disciplined corners just get abused by him. Davante Adams is that guy. And he's going to continue to be that guy in spite of the fact that there's not another guy on the damn team.
This past year was his second season with both 1,300-plus receiving yards and 110-plus catches. It's pretty damn good. Davante Adams, the new king of the wide receivers in the NFL. And it's only going – I think, yes, there will be some regression. You can't expect him to have 18 touchdowns again this year. But with Aaron Rodgers slinging him the ball, he's obviously going to stay toward the top. Number 4, Travis Kelce. It's Travis Kelce no matter what.
100%. There ain't a whole lot more to say. He's a good blocker. He's not a great blocker.
Yeah.
He's not a George Kittle level blocker, but he's for a high-end receiver like that, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, outside of his rookie year, he's played every game but one. And I find that fascinating.
Very durable, very talented. Now granted, him and Tyreek Hill, it should be said, you're in the most receiver-friendly system you'll ever see in your life. However, just think about how many Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinsons, on and on and on that have been in the system.
Right.
There's been 2 constants, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but you're part of the reason that system works.
Correct.
A huge reason why that system works. Number 3 is T.J. Watt. This is the guy that he's going to set the new record for pay among defensive players in the NFL. 42.5 sacks in 3 years. He had 8 forced fumbles in 2019. In the last 3 years total, he's forced 16 fumbles.
To me, he's the most all-around defensive player in the NFL. He can do everything. He's a Aaron Donald level pass rusher, but he does a litany of other things as well. T.J. Watt should be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. You pass Aaron Donald because your contract happened 2 years later. I'll be honest with you, I considered T.J. Watt at 2. I thought about having him over Aaron Donald. The difference is I've never seen 4 guys try to block T.J. Watt. Right. I have seen 4 guys try to block Aaron Donald and fail.
And fail at it. And that's why he's number 2 on the Sportsocracy NFL Top 100.
He's not of this world. I don't know what he's made of, but I'm pretty sure you could shoot him and he would spit the bullet back at you.
Right.
He's just a freak of fucking nature, which is weird because I go back to when I scouted him and I saw the talent. I understood why he went in the top 15, but I never thought he would be this. Him and J.J. Watt, they're virtually the same guy because you watch the tape in college and you go, damn, he's really good. He should be a first-round pick. You never thought they would be the most impactful player in the NFL. And yet here you are.
Yep. That's exactly what he is. Double-digit sacks every season but 2 in his career. Of course, had the big year in 2018 when he had 20.5. He is super disruptive, and he is so long that he makes it impossible almost for quarterbacks to get the ball past the line of scrimmage sometimes. Now, number 1. It's
the
Patrick
guy.
Mahomes.
If it wasn't Kermit T. Frog, you did it wrong. He started 46 games in the NFL. They've lost 8 fucking times. That is insane. I will say, hearing Tony Romo say that there's some Pat Mahomes and Zach Wilson,
oh my God,
made my shorts touch the table.
Eesh.
A lot.
I think it was a little much to put on old Zach Wilson, but
well, here's the thing: if anybody was going to say it and me go, yeah, that, it'd be Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Tony Romo is the savant of quarterbacks in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm going to side with him, and all the people telling me that I'm a homer can suck one.
I mean, he's been to back-to-back Super Bowls, won one. He might have won more than that had it not been for Tom Brady. Had it not been for Tom Brady, he might have 3 Super Bowl rings right now in 4 years in the league. And, oh, by the way, he only started 1 game his rookie season behind Alex Smith. The $500 million contract that Kansas City just gave him, I still feel like, yes, while we all went, holy shit, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Maybe some years at the end of this deal that you're going to go, yeah, but look what you got.
I don't think you will.
But look what you got.
Hell, he'll only be 35 at the end of this deal. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn if it's $100 million. Quarterback that good will keep you competitive forever. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's number 1.
That's right. Patrick Mahomes, number 1 on the Sportsocracy NFL Top 100 list. It's been fun going through the Top 100 with you all. And that brings us just closer to football season. We've got all the college picks that we can handle coming your way this afternoon on the ESPN Asheville Show, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard weekdays 3 to 5 everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It will be a bet-stravaganza.
That's right. We'll be back here in the Wicked Weed studio tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different.
We will be live tomorrow morning as well. Be sure to sign up for Competition for the Cause.
Yes.
I will be going back and scoring the comments. That'll be tonight. So I'll have the scores ready for in the morning. And tomorrow's going to be really aggressive. We also have a betting segment for you that I think you're going to like.
Also, don't forget about the Build Your Bankroll contest. If you haven't gotten in on that, the link is in the description of this video, as well as we all compete against Flowstradamus over here to try to take him down. Play Action Pools is the website for the contest, and it's absolutely free. Sign up. You get 10,000 free fantasy dollars to wager, and you try to see how high you could build your bankroll over the entire season. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this throughout the year. But, yes, get your picks in for tonight's games in the Build Your Bankroll contest as well. All right, we'll see you on the radio side this afternoon. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Be good.
Thank you.